Hello and welcome to MGP424. I'm Kevin. With me as ever, the Sheepdog, Anna and Pab. Say hello, boys and girls.
Hello.
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 Hello. How are we all on this fine week?
Very good. Probably better than you.
Yeah. I've had an interesting week. It's been a fun one. I got to go to hospital, but I didn't get to go in an ambulance.
Yeah, probably for the best. You were lucky that someone else was there quicker. When I needed an ambulance, it took, I mean, not that I'm criticising the NHS because I know they're busy, but it took a good 35 plus minutes. You're lucky that you didn't have to wait that. That could have
I waited longer than that, I think, probably, from when, basically, Tuesday morning, about 10 o'clock, my heart started going and just felt really fluttery and odd. And because I've got my my super shiny fancy Apple Watch, I thought, this has got an ECG feature. I'm going to test this ECG. And it told me I had a heart rate of like 160 beats a minute when all I was doing was taking the recycling out. And that it was an irregular heartbeat as well, that it was all over the place. So I kept trying it for the next few minutes and saying to Anna, this isn't right. And she was going, yeah, but you've still got to take the recycling out. It's not right. It's not right. And then eventually we decided I should phone 111. And they said, yeah, that doesn't sound too good. We'll get a doctor to phone you back. 20 minutes later, doctor phones me back and says, yeah, that's not too good. Get yourself down to the hospital within an hour. They're expecting you. Meanwhile, Nerdphonic Matt was on his way over anyway to upgrade my computers that have both been completely rebuilt this week. And I think he probably got here about half an hour after I spoke to that doctor. And he drove me down to the hospital. So from start of, my heart feels a bit wibbly wobbly, to actually arriving in A&E, it was probably about a 2-hour period. I got there about 12 o'clock, maybe a little before 12 o'clock. And when I got there, they were like, because I walked in fine. I didn't feel any pain or anything. I walked in fine, and they were like, yeah, go sit yourself down, and just sat me in A&E as normal. I went to the toilet. I went and got myself a drink. Just mooching around the place. They got me into triage and did my blood pressure and my pulse off of my finger, and were like, this is all fine. My heart rate was reading as 75 off of my finger. And they were like, stop being a time waster, basically, and we're going to send me away. But the consultant nipped in and said, just put him on the ECG machine, just to be sure. We have to be careful with chest pains. They put me on the machine, and through the machine, my heart rate was 187. And from that moment on, they were very, very nice to me.
Wow.
Wouldn't let me walk. I had to get in a wheelchair to be wheeled round to the bed that was probably 8 yards away from the triage thing that I was in. I said, can I just nip to the toilet? I need to go to the toilet again. No, you're not allowed to stand up. You can't go to the toilet. You need to lie down. Here's a bottle to wee in. And from that moment on, they didn't let me move for like the next 3 hours. I was hooked up. They initially hooked me up to a different ECG machine, read it again, and were like, oh, this is quite high. And then they were subtly like, we're just going to change the pads for these ones. Don't worry, it's nothing to worry about. Meanwhile, they're strapping on the big defibrillator pads, and I'm like, I'm not 9. I know what those pads are that you're putting on me now. That is a little alarming. And eventually they put me on a drip, which I've got a massive bruise on my arm from the cannula. Got some fluids in me, put a first batch of medication in me that got my heart rate down to about 110 beats a minute, but still irregular. And then they gave me a couple of tiny pills about an hour and a half later that got me back down to like 85, 90 beats a minute with a regular heartbeat. And I'm like, that's still quite high. But at that point, they sent me home with some medication, more of these little tablets that I've been taking ever since. And because I've got the watch, I've been tracking it with the ECGs and the heart rate stuff ever since. And I've been absolutely fine. We've been assembling furniture and sorting Anna's stuff out. And I've not felt unwell at all until this evening when I took my little tablet a little bit earlier than I was supposed to. It says take them twice a day. I took it at 7 o'clock rather than at bedtime, and immediately came over really dizzy. And I'm sat here now, my heart rate... Oh, that's an alarm. I'm sat here right now, and my heart rate is down to like 60 beats a minute, which for a healthy person, that's like, Kev, that sounds like a really healthy heart rate. Good work. For me, I don't think my heart rate has ever been below like 75, 80 when I've been awake. Not since I've been an adult, anyway. And I'm sat here thinking I could pass out at any moment. This is weird. Why is my heart so slow? But it's because I've taken my heart-slowing medication. And it's just been a very, very odd week. I now know to take that when I'm about to go to bed and not before. And it's been a very strange week. I've thought my heart was going to explode. And now I'm kind of just waiting to... I still don't know what caused any of it. I've got to go into the doctors next week. And they're going to try and work out what caused it. They said they listed off about a dozen things it could have been. Ranging from sheepdog broken thyroid syndrome through to diabetes, actual heart problems, or they said
your
it
thyroid. I can't wait to see your hair thin and fall out. It's going to be fantastic. I'm going to lord it over you.
It won't. My barber says my hair will never fall out. But then they said it could just be one of those things that just happens. Sometimes the electrical impulses in your heart just go a little bit nutty. They usually sort themselves out. Sometimes they don't. And it might just be one of those things that only ever happens once and you never have a problem with it again. And it's fine. The big takeaway message is it's probably not because I'm fat. It's probably a separate thing. So it's not self-inflicted, which that's the most important thing. I didn't do this to myself. It probably did it to me. So I don't need to feel bad about it.
It's giving you carte blanche to just hit the donuts, hasn't he? That's it.
Absolutely. The amount of sweets Anna's been sent to our PO box this week as well.
Ridiculous.
I mean, it's...
I'm going to be diabetic.
If it wasn't diabetes that caused it, I'll have diabetes soon because the amount of sweets that have been sent, I'm going to make sure of it.
Being a big fella like me, right? I've found doctors. I've had several doctors just say to me, "You're just overweight. Accept it. Get on with life. Move on. Don't worry about it. Just get on with it." And I think part of that's because of my thyroid, and there's not much I can do. But I'm always like, "No, I don't eat that much. I eat quite healthily. I don't eat meat. Blah blah blah." And they're like, "Just stay fat. It's fine." I'm like, what? Like 10 years ago, they were always like, "You're really fat." Now, I'd go in with a broken arm and they'd be like, "You probably need to lose weight. If you weren't so fat, your arm would be better." And now they're just like, doesn't
I certainly
matter.
think there might have been a change in the messaging that they've been told to employ, because perhaps they're secretly trying to kill all the fatties off. But
maybe
when I was being driven in on Tuesday, I was saying to Matt that I'm really not looking forward to the lecture about not really getting any exercise.
Yeah,
they're going to ask
exactly.
what I've eaten so far today, and I did have a leftover Krispy Kreme donut for breakfast, and they're going to lecture me about that, and it's just going to be a whole day of being told I'm fat and it's my own fault. And at no point did my weight even come up. It wasn't ever mentioned. So
It's mad, isn't it?
It is odd. It's all changed. But yeah, bottom line, if you hear a thud during this podcast, it's because my heart rate is lowering and lowering and lowering as I'm sitting here. So a thud probably means if Anna doesn't notice it and react to it, just give her the nudge to come in and check that I'm alive and probably sort me out with an ambulance.
I am worried when they have a quick look with some sort of machine and they just see it's just solid fat from wall to wall in your heart, and we're there going, yeah, they're just telling us to carry on being fat. It's brilliant. Keep being a fatty.
Well, from what I can tell from what I've been reading about it, because the only thing they've told me is it was an SVT. I can't remember what it stands for. But I have not seen anywhere online where it mentions them being caused by being overweight. It's just kind
salt,
of
vinegar, tomato ketchup. That's what it stands for.
I mean,
Just wrapped with it.
there's probably plenty of salt in there, but there's no tomato ketchup or vinegar. Do you not know me at all?
I do know you, and that's why I stuttered before I spoke, because I thought he doesn't eat vinegar. I couldn't think of a V and a T that you would have. Viennese Wells and Twixes.
It does say it's most episodes of SVT are caused by faulty electrical connections in the heart. I am part machine, and they're also caused by certain medicines. They sometimes run in families, but there's no mention of it being because you're a fatty.
So my brother-in-law's dad was driving. I didn't tell you this on the day in quite so much detail, but he was driving home. It was my sister's birthday, and he was driving to her party or whatever, and his electricity in his heart just went berserk, and he ended up just crashing his car into the central reservation in Grays, where I grew up, and he was absolutely fine. But now every year my brother-in-law and his brothers have to go and get their hearts checked to make sure they've not got this thing. And yeah, it's just interesting how it comes. They said the same to him. It's not because he's quite a big man. They're like, it's not because you're fat. It's nothing to do with your health. It just happens to people randomly. So maybe you become one of these advocates being aware of it. You know, it's a thing that affects people and it could just happen to anyone. Exactly. What a cheerful start to the podcast this week.
Well, yeah, I mean, somebody must have asked me. I've basically redone my vlog. That's a second take of the exact vlog I did afterwards. I think you can probably run them side by side. If you want to know what my facial expression was like during that 10-minute speech, just play the vlog on silence and it will lip sync. I'm pretty sure it is exactly the same thing. It's well rehearsed, well written.
Hopefully, to lighten it a little bit, I've been spending the week absolutely failing to communicate with adults, and I can't do it. I'm terrible. Standard. I had people around doing the garage, and I had to ask these guys what time they were leaving, because they were leaving sometime before I needed to do the school run, but I wasn't sure whether they would. And you know, I was overthinking it massively. I went in there and I was like, I just want to say to them, "Are you going by 3?" And I beat around the bush so much because I didn't want to be like, get out. By the time I actually delivered it, they were looking at me like, what are you asking us? And I was like, when are you finishing? And they were like, next half hour. And I was like, I've got to go out at 3. And they were like, well, that's an hour away. And I'm like, yeah, but I didn't want to leave and you were here on your own and I didn't want to send someone. And so then like now they think I'm a moron. And every time I speak to them, I feel like I'm on guard.
Judges of character.
Yeah. So they asked me where to put the door, and I was like, somewhere around there, and just waving at the wall. And I was like, my wife will be home in a minute. And then I went to say, she'll tell you, and I was like, she'll have an opinion. And I made it sound like I thought she was such a cow. And I just walked off. I thought, oh my God, I've just massively made her sound like she's an idiot, and walked off. And then later on, I said something else that made it very much sound like I was going, women, eh? And I wasn't. I think I'm just second guessing. But that's put me on edge all week. I went to the vet today, and as I was walking in the vet's with my dog, the vet said to my dog, hello, sweetie, just as I was saying hello to her. So she went, hello, sweetie, and I went, you're right. And then I went, I know you weren't speaking to me then. And she went, what? And I went, when you said hello, sweetie, I know you didn't mean me. And she was like, I know. Yes, I meant the dog. And I was like, don't worry. And then there was just this awkward cringe of just standing there. I'm dying. She's just trying to talk to the dog, and I'm thinking I need to get out. And I was like, should I just put the dog on this hook thing and I'll just leave? And she's like, yeah, go on. She's completely fine, but I'm like trying to hook the dog up, going, I can't do it. It's not going on. I was like, I'm supposed to be. I was like, I don't know why I said this. I was like, I'm supposed to be clever. I can't hook this on. And in the end, I just kind of dropped it on it and left. And I don't know whether she was hooked or what. But I just sat in the chair thinking, I've got to come back here every week until the dog's better or dead, and I can't look her in the eye anymore. But when I went back in, she just ignored it. We didn't reference it at all. I was barely listening to what she was saying. I was trying to make notes on my phone so she could. I thought, I'm not listening. I have to write down every word you say. But I'm just, I need to not talk to people forever until I've learned how to do it properly. You're basically my training wheels now, because I just can't do it. I try answering the phone to strangers and I'm just gibberish. I've started just putting them on hold and then coming back and telling them that whoever they wanted isn't available. Can they email them? I'm not even asking if the people are available anymore because I don't want the conversation, because I can't do it. I've lost the ability. It's just dropped from. I've learned something new and I've forgotten how to talk to strangers. That's what's happened. And so, help.
No, you're well beyond help, it seems, at this point. Pab, Anna, is there any chance either of you have had a normal person week?
I've been with you, so not really. I've had to deal with you.
I assumed Kev's heart. I was going to ask if he'd been wearing a low-cut top or something and just sent him mad.
I told him to take the rubbish out. That's all I did. I went, take your rubbish out, because he's got this thing. He'll get packages. He'll undo, take the stuff out of the packages and just leave the box on the floor, and it drives me insane. So I boxed them all up. I flattened them all and put them in a box. Take this out. And, oh God, no! Drama Queen Kevin came out and just
grabbed his chest and fell to the floor.
I'm not a drama queen. I'm on 2 types of heart medication now. I don't think that counts as being a drama queen.
It was just rubbish.
This time, it's legitimate.
I bet they were like, this man who sits checking their file, sits at home all day playing video games, He's basically
That's
unemployed.
the thing, they never asked any of that. They wouldn't know. I'd never been to that hospital before. I've never seen my GP here. Around this area, they don't know anything about me. They don't know how much I weigh. They don't know what I look like. I could be Superman, according to my GP. He doesn't have a clue. He still gives me he prescribes my repeat prescription that I got back at the old place a year ago. He just, you can have more of that. That's fine. He's never checked if it's right for me. I mean, it could be that that's caused it. They might be giving me a different flavour here, and it's slowly killing me. Who knows?
Just a little pill of electricity, and you're just ruining your heart by electrocuting it.
Exactly.
I'm definitely rooting for the broken thyroid. I really want to see bald Kev. We can become slapheads together. Just don't let it fade away like I did. Just get it shaved off the same time as me. We'll sit next to each other.
Is it the broken thyroid or the medication that makes you go bald? Because surely I would be starting to go bald if it was a thyroid and it was the thyroid thing that caused it.
I don't really know, if I'm honest. You were there when I was going through it. I guess you kind of knew me just since I'd
been bald for as long as I've known you.
No, I have. I had a lot more hair at the start of uni than I did by the end of uni.
Don't recall that at all. I remember you having a comb over the day we met.
No.
You've always had, it's in recent years you've accepted it and started to acknowledge that you're bald, but to the rest of us, nothing's changed. Your hair.
I don't think I ever really noticed how bad it was getting. But no, I really slowed down. By the third year of uni, I couldn't function. Like, I'd go to uni, I'd go home and I'd sleep. And I just went and got it. I remember saying to my doctor, I remember asking on a forum how I get less sleep. And all these new parents were cursing me and calling me names because they were like, I get like 4 hours sleep a night. And you're moaning that you're basically getting 6 hours awake a day. And I said, yeah, but you can't live like this. This is ridiculous. I want to be able to do normal things. And then I went to the doctors and they spent tons of time testing. And eventually they were like, yeah, you're just broken. Here's these tablets. And I felt human again. So if you're feeling tired, it could be that. But it probably isn't that then. If you've not been feeling tired, run down and grumpy, then it's probably not it. But I just want to see you bald, Kev. Hopefully, whatever it is, the side effect is baldness. I feel like it's karma at this point.
Yeah, but even if I went bald, it would all just come back immediately.
You can grow a better beard than me, to be fair.
Exactly. I'm just shoulders up. I'm a hair monster. You have got the shoulders nailed, though. Shoulders down. I'm sure you're much hairier than I am.
I don't know when you ever saw me topless. I don't understand where this is coming from.
Well, we see the hairy shoulders poke out of your t-shirts.
It's chest, really, isn't it?
And you've seen me topless many times.
Oh, of course I have. The calendar shoot and all of that, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The time I got my nipples tweaked in Belgium. You were there lying in the bed opposite me.
Yeah, fully clothed. Coat and boots.
Exactly. One other thing that's not strictly game related. I mean, this is getting closer to game related because it is about the PS5. I need to discuss the PS5 internet situation, specifically the Wi-Fi situation on PS5. Pab, is your PS5 connected by Wi-Fi or wired?
Wi-Fi.
Is it rubbish?
No, if anything, it's lightning fast.
Because I'm getting like 2 meg download on my PS5 on Wi-Fi at the moment, and it is less than 6 feet away from my router. And my phone in the same spot is getting 300 meg download. My wired PC is getting 800. Anna's PS5 in the living room also almost nothing on Wi-Fi. I tweeted it out. Loads of people saying, yeah, Wi-Fi rubbish. Plugged it in and it's fine. This seems to be a bit of a PS5 issue, that Wi-Fi is a little bit broken on them. And I don't really get why it's not being talked about. Is it just because nobody's got one, so nobody's moaning about it yet?
That is.
But if yours works, I don't understand.
Mine's fine. Mine is, if anything, mine's considerably faster than the PS4 was.
Mine is worse.
Really?
I just bought It Takes Two.
Worse than the PS4 for downloads.
I bought It Takes Two just before the podcast started because me and Anna are going to be streaming it at some point this weekend. Or that was the plan because it's going to take 99 hours to download.
Oh, why don't you get Anna to download it then?
Because it'll be just as slow on hers.
I thought you said Anna's was faster than yours.
No, they're both slow.
No, both too.
And we both need a copy of it anyway.
No, you don't need. Only one of you needs a copy of it. I told you this.
Surely, yeah, I'm the only one who's bought it, but surely she still needs the game installed.
Yes, that's right.
So she's still got to download it.
Yes.
So what are you saying, Pep?
You need to plug your PS5 in.
I haven't got any slots, and Anna's isn't close enough to plug in, so that doesn't solve the problem. Anna's can't be plugged in; it's 2 rooms away from the router.
You can carry that. I know the PS5 is big, but you can lift it up and pick it up and move it.
Then when we try and play this online game, we're not going to be able to, are we?
Hold on. If you're playing it, are you playing in the same room?
No.
Because you can play split screen.
We're not playing in the same room, Pab. The whole point is so I can stream on my Twitch and Anna can stream on her Twitch at the same time, so I can spend the whole stream going, go and subscribe to Anna, idiots. That's the whole purpose of why we're doing it.
Continuously raiding her and then going back on, and then raiding her and then going back on.
The whole purpose is so we're both streaming separately, so that I can send as many people as possible to Anna.
Didn't do this for me.
Well, I don't care if you have followers or not. Whereas Anna,
it's favouritism, outrageous favouritism.
Absolutely, it's favouritism. I much prefer Anna to I review to.
How dare you? I didn't give you a heart attack.
You need bigger boobies.
I've got plenty boobs.
But you won't let me see them. We just covered that.
But I've never sent you to A&E. Have I? I don't know, actually. Have I ever sent you to A&E?
I don't know.
Probably.
You did send me that electrocution shirt that I've been wearing all week, so that might have had something to do with it.
Sorry, I was taking a swig of my drink then. I did. Took me a minute to figure out what the hell you were saying, but yes, I did.
So yeah, let us know, boys and girls, readers, as I think I'm going to call you. Let us know, readers, if your PS5 on Wi-Fi is dross and if there's anything that you can do about it, because I don't really see what the solution is. Even if I plug mine in and wire it in, it doesn't help us being able to get Anna's wired in. So,
I was asking you earlier why you don't simply, for now, just to solve the initial problem, take a wire out of something else, like for a moment, and download the game so that it's done in 10 minutes.
Well, the games will be downloaded, but it's not the issue of downloading the game. It's going to be the problem. It's when we're trying to play it together tomorrow. We're not going to be able to because I'm getting... I mean, when I actually logged in and did a speed test, because I turned my PS5 on and it couldn't load the icons in the store. So I was like, this feels unusual.
Yeah,
let's go and do a little speed test. My download speed on my PS5 was 158.1 kilobytes per second. That's kilobytes, boys and girls.
Okay.
KB.
Are you sure you don't need to do any kind of port forwarding thing on your router?
I don't even know what that means, and I don't know why I would have to.
You got an open NAT?
I don't know what any of this means, Pam. What is an open NAT?
Go open all your gates.
Shush about gates. Everything else just works.
No, it doesn't,
This doesn't work.
So...
I go upstairs with my phone and iPad and get no signal. I have to put 4G on.
Is there a thick wall between your router and your PS5?
Well, I'm like 3 floors away, but Andy gets it just fine.
I can touch them both.
Yeah,
I am touching them both currently. I've got one finger on the router and one finger on the PS5.
I don't want to be the one to say the obvious.
Take your fingers off them.
Stop touching them. No. He's trying to transfer the data by hand. Have you tried? I'm going to say it. Have they been turned off and on again?
Yes.
Multiple times. This isn't just a today problem, Pab. This is a everyday ongoing issue.
You've not noticed the store being that bad previously?
Oh, yeah, I have. And Anna's noticed it before as well. And, I mean, I don't turn mine on very often, which is why it's less of an ongoing issue for me. But Anna's every day telling me that our new, beautiful, super fast, complete Wi-Fi fibre to the property deliciousness, every day she tells me it's rubbish. And every day I'm like, it's really not. We've put a PC in the living room now, and the PC next to her PS5 gets like 400 download on Wi-Fi. It's next to the PS5 that gets 2.
Have you tried changing the channel of your Wi-Fi?
Okay,
I'll never tell you. This is a bit of a blue story, so if there's any children listening, it's not too blue, but basically my mate used to live in a house with like 6 other men, and their internet was playing up, and I went round there for a barbecue, and being a nerd, he told me his internet was down. I needed to get online, so I went to fix his internet. And all I had to really do was change the channel. I moved it from like channel 8 to channel 12, and suddenly they went from like kilobytes to megabytes. And all the men in that house went back to their rooms to use the internet for 20 minutes. And I just thought, oh my God, they're all going on to streaming websites. And they all came out very satisfied with themselves and very grateful. But I didn't let any of them shake my hand because that's disgusting. But they were very grateful people. And that could be the answer. But in a weird way, like I know everything else is working, but it could just be that the PS5 doesn't like channel 12 or whatever you've got it on, you know?
The PS5's a tool. That's what we've learnt here.
Okay. Do you have a VPN?
Not on the PS5.
No, but as you got a VPN on the router.
No. No, because I use nordvpn.com/Lelujo and have it installed on my individual devices. It's great.
Okay, because I know there are ways to put it straight onto the router, so you don't have to do it. It VPNs that way. And sometimes certain things go, oh, I don't know what this is, and gets confused and just drip.
No, I'll level with you, gentlemen. I wasn't anticipating a 10-minute discussion on this. I wanted to have a moan and have the readers let us know what they thought. I wasn't expecting you to solve the problem neither of you could solve when we talked about it just before we started recording. So we can probably move on from it.
I assume you'd get Nerdphonic to come round and do something. I mean, there is a whole thread on Reddit that's 182 days old where someone says, I have 1 gig internet and my PS5 is in the same spot my PS4 used to be in.
Yep,
and that was getting 200 meg and this one's getting 7 meg. And someone said, change your DNS to a different setting. And there's loads of comments there. Get on Reddit, Kev. Or just get Nerdphonic round.
I don't understand Reddit.
No, I don't.
It's the noise a frog makes, isn't it?
God, I want to kick him.
Now,
it's what our readers say when they finish the podcast.
While you all laugh heartily at that joke, Pab's going to insert an advert. We've never had an advert before. We talked about games before. This is brilliant. Pab's going to stick an advert in, and then we've got some video games to talk about on this video game podcast that's now half over. And we've returned. Lucky for you, boys and girls, I have no video games to discuss because the only one I wanted to play, I can't download because my PS5 is a wang. So over to you lot. What have you been playing this week? I know there's new games out because Anna has spoken about them greatly.
Well, I tried. So yesterday, the Wrath of the Druids DLC came out for Assassin's Creed. I did not play it because it would not download. It took 6 hours to download yesterday. And by that time, Andy had been to school and came home and was ready for his dinner. And I didn't feel well, so I didn't get to play that because my internet is awful on the PlayStation. I played a little bit of it this morning. And you go to Ireland. And that's all I know, because that's all I played of it, because my post came and a little game called Mass Effect Legendary Edition turned up. I really wanted to play it. Like, I don't know, like before, when it was announced, I was like, oh, it's just a remake. I've played them before. I don't need to play them again. So I'm playing one, and I don't know any of the story. Couldn't tell you what was going on. Like, from when I played it before, I have no recollection at all what's going on, so I'm enjoying it immensely. Yeah, I like, because back in the day I played 2, then I played 1, and then I played 3. Now I think because I played it in that way, I have no idea what was going on, but I'm playing 1. I'm on the Citadel. And I've just become a Spectre. And I'm the first human to do that. And now I have to go to Spectre school. It looks better, though the eyes just look dead in the first one. They look just dead. Like there's no one behind them.
I assumed it would be the same all the way through now. I thought that was part of the point of the remaster, that because like, yeah, my Shepherd in Game 1 looked good in Game 2 and then went ridiculous in Game 3 because it couldn't quite translate. But I'm guessing it's just sort of better than Game 3 level all the way through. Mass Effect 3 level up.
Yeah, like
Game 3.
It looked like it's not all like muddy. Do you know what I mean? Like not everything has like edges, and everything is like has definition, but their face is just, it's like like very smooth. They've got my shepherd has very smooth skin and has very good lined lips, and they have no expression. And I know that sounds weird, like games now, but what is it, like not Mass Effect, Last of Us have facial expressions and just have a bit of personality, where these is just her face, and it's just very weird. But I'm just enjoying the story. I forgot that there was voice acting. I thought it was just all like click the little wheel thing and go off in your I forget what they're called. What are they called? When you've got the like the answers, you've got that going on, and you can like go to different bits of dialogue. And
are you playing it as a kind person or a mean person or a
middle? Because there was this one guy who was just being awful. So I knocked him out, and I got my renegade of 9 points. I was like, but he was just being annoying. I needed to knock him out, but I'm in the middle. I don't like to be too good, because I'm not that nice, not really good in real life, but I'm not like really mean. So I'm just in the middle.
I was going to say, you tend to say the good thing. I don't think you ever really say the mean thing. Whereas in game, I always do the nice thing, but in real life, I always say the mean thing.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's nice to go back. I think it was like 2007. This game came out for the first time. Like I said, I missed it the first time. Don't know how I went to 1-3. I have no idea. But yeah, it's. I thought at first, because like you put it in, so it comes on 2 discs. So you've got a date disc and you've got your game disc. That took like an hour, but then there was a download that took forever. So I've only played it for 2 hours. I don't like the map, because there is no... So, like, in the corner, there is a map. Like, there's a circle, but there's no map on it, if you know what I mean. There's no definition. So, yes, it's pointing which way to go, but because I'm on the Citadel has many corridors and doors and up and downs, and I'm, like, getting lost really bad. And there's timed events in this as well. Oh, and they annoy me. I don't like timed events. But yeah, just going back, playing old and new. When I first turned it on, I thought there was only 11 trophies. I was like, for 3 games, there's 11 trophies. What are they doing? But as you play each game, I think there's like a point where the first one unlocks, and then it shows you like the rest of the trophies. I do like a trophy. I am just awful.
So it's only 33 in total, or are you saying...
No, when I turned it on... Like, on the PlayStation 5, you turn something on, it will tell you there's, like, how many trophies are in a game. So, like, I'm looking at it now, and it says 2 of 35. Earlier, it said 2 of 11, but 2 of 11 was for the whole 3 games. So, it's like, finish all 3 games on Insanity. So, there's, like, trophies upon trophies, if you know what I mean. So, there's trophies for the whole like
for completing the trilogy, but then also
ones.
Individual game. Yeah, that's cool.
So at the moment I'm on the first one. I'm 2 of 35 in the first game. So yeah, I'm just playing it. I'm enjoying it. I'm sure I did prefer 2 to 3. 3 scared the bejesus out of me. It was more horror than what I'm used to, but it looks nice on my PlayStation. Even though it's PlayStation 4, there's no PlayStation 5 version, it looks lovely. And I will continue to play it after the podcast, because I'm really enjoying it. And it's just nice to go back to a BioWare that I loved back in the day, until they went a bit weird with their games. But yeah, Mass Effect.
I can't foresee when I'll be able to have the time to play something like this. I'm kind of like, maybe when 4 comes out, it'd be good to play 1, 2, and 3, and jump into 4. But I don't know. It seems odd.
Good though.
No, not Andromeda. The next one that they've been advertising.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're talking about doing the proper. I mean, I'm guessing the next one's going to be Mass Effect 4, whereas Andromeda's considered not part of the the series. Sorry,
I don't
maybe that's what I would do if I was them. Although
Yeah.
I feel part of me needs to go back and play Andromeda because I wasn't hating it. I just felt like I didn't really know what was going on. I went off on a bit of a tangent.
That one is very different because in this Mass Effect you're going against I forget what they're called. It begins with a P.
Proteans. Yeah,
something like that. You go against them and you take over and you do what you have to do and you've got your team. Whereas the Andromeda, you're like Dad had some kind of vision and then you're trying to unlock the vision and it's all secret behind, like, because you have an AI and you have to unlock the AI, but the only way you can unlock it is unlocking these nodes in the world. It was just very confusing. I was like, if the AI knows something, just tell me what I need to know. Why do I have to go out and relive my dad's past? I didn't like it. But yeah, I can't wait to get to 2 and do the planet scanning. I spent hours doing that and I loved every minute of it. The probing. You like that, don't you, Kevin?
I'm sure that's in all of them, isn't it? I didn't think that was just in 2.
Is it?
Well, the planets. Yeah. When you scan the planets for materials and information.
And send the probe down. I'd spent hours.
They do it different on different ones. Like you can ride around in your buggy and do it. I think in 2 you literally just scan and fire a thing.
Yes, that one. I remember doing that for hours.
But, yeah, definitely. I remember thinking I'm going to just complete this as far as it lets me go.
Yeah, I don't know why it was so addictive, but like you just scan the planet, and then when it was like a bit high, you'd like send a probe around. Yeah, I loved all that. But it's a 100 gig that you need on your PlayStation.
God, so Pabs is.
It's 100.
What's yours? 500, Pab. 500 to fill yours, is it?
Not even that, because obviously then you've got to fit the operating system and everything else on there that it likes to. So it's not. It's not
mine's not massive.
optimal.
I have to delete things all the time. Like on there now, I've got Mass Effect, Assassin's Creed, and then Like a Dragon, Watch Dogs. I've got quite a few. Watch Dogs, Spider-Man, and Immortals, and Playroom. So I've got quite a lot on there. But yeah, it takes up a lot of room. And then you've got the download as well. But yeah, like, I was enjoying the Wrath one, the Wrath of the Druids, but wanted to play Mass Effect. And because the DLC for Valhalla was supposed to come out last week of April, and then, last week of April, 1st of like May, and it never appeared because they needed more time to polish, which is fine. But like I had that set aside that week, because it was my week off to play that, and then they postponed it. But yeah, so that's all I've played this week. Over to
yeah, I'll jump in there. So, I mean, Pab asked me before the show how my PC's getting on, because apparently he gets asked. I mean, I get asked a lot, but people have stopped asking me because I think they're aware that I will be shouting from the rooftops when my PC is finally coming. But apparently Pab gets asked a lot, and yeah, I've got nothing. I got a letter in the week, an email from them saying we have news about your computer.
Oh.
And when I opened the email, heart in mouth, and it just said, we've been unable to source a graphics card. There's a shortage. Give us a ring if you want to talk about it. So I rang them and I just said, what's the word? What's happening? And they were like, yeah, they're just hard to find. I was like, well, I know that. I said, what if I upgrade to the 3070? And they were like, the queue's even longer. And I said, 3080, thinking I know the answer. And he just went, they're like white whales. You'll never see one of them. So he just said, give it a week or so. Give me another ring. We can assess the queue week by week, and I'll let you know from there. So my original, I'm 99th in the queue, wait 6 weeks. I'm very close to that 6 week point now. I think this is week 5. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, I'm not near it. So I've been in a funny position because, if I'm honest, I don't know if I said this to the people watching my streams, but I thought I had at least another week of XCOM 2. I kept saying, I'm at the end of XCOM, I'm at the end of XCOM, but I thought I had a bit more time on it. And then I sat down on, I think it was Wednesday, to do my stream, and I clicked onto the mission that it had told me to do, and it basically went, are you sure if you click this mission, you will be finishing the game? And I was like, oh, what? Damn. And everyone watching was like, what are you going to play when you finish it? I was like, I don't know. And I thought, I don't know how long this mission is. So I did that first mission. I did the mission I thought was the end mission, and it was literally moved from like one side of the map to the other and press a button, and it ended the mission. And I thought, oh my God, that can't be the end of the game. It took me like 20 minutes. But there was another mission. So I said to everyone, right, I'll try and complete it tonight, and then I'll have to think of a game by Wednesday that I could play. This was Monday stream, sorry, not Wednesdays. And I was like, I've got to just make sure this drags out, really. I don't know how long this mission is, but I've got to make it last the stream, because I do not have another game lined up, and I do not know what I would have done, because I've not got anything installed on the laptop. Luckily, it is quite a long mission, but I had everyone watching. We spent, I think, 2.5 hours getting to the final battle on this game. I said so some of the people in it have already completed it, and the last mission was basically killing these 3 things called avatars, and I'd killed 2 of them. There was 1 left, and I said, I'm pretty sure if I kill it, the game's going to end. And I genuinely at this point wanted to kill it. I feel like it looks like I maybe didn't, because my actions next completely ruined it, but I had someone squared up. All he had to do was fire a rocket at it, and I would have completed the game. And rockets don't miss. They always do the damage. So I squared it up. But for some reason, in XCOM 1, if you're standing behind a wall or next to us on a corner or whatever, they'll step sideways and fire it directly. In XCOM 2, they'll just wildly fire it at the wall in front of them. So when I aimed it at the avatar, it just blew up the wall in front of him. It didn't do any damage to the person. But then I was so annoyed that this moron had just shot a wall instead of the avatar that I thought, I need him to now be my decoy, because there was like 30 aliens that were all ready to kill me on the next move. And I thought, if I move him to the middle of this room, on top of basically a plinth, in a room full of aliens, they'll all just assassinate him, while the other 2 people can focus on killing the alien. Mm-hmm. So I did that, thinking, I'm a genius. This is all fine. I'm a genius. But no, all the aliens had to do was kill my commander, and they won. My commander was on full health, so I thought, well, he'll survive. But these like 30 aliens completely ignored the sacrifice I'd put on the side, and they all just went for my commander, completely destroyed him, and I lost the game. 2.5 hours people watched me do this level for, only to see me die, where it was literally next move wins. So I was like, really sorry everyone, gonna wrap it up there. It's like 5 to 11. I'll see you all on Wednesday. So then on Wednesday I was like, I'm gonna level up a little bit before we do the final mission. So I think I got away with like 1 level of leveling up a bit. I got 1 promotion on someone, and I went back into it, and it was slightly different because the game doesn't put the same aliens in the same place, but it was very much the same scenario of I got all the way through. I literally had, I think everyone was about to die, and I had 1 more hit to do, and thankfully this time I did kill him. I did complete it, so I've completed 3 games now this year, which I'm quite pleased with, because, like, you know me, I don't often complete games. I completed 3 in the past like month and a half, and it was brilliant. I really enjoyed the game overall. I know we all said it had a bit of a bad rap at the start. It was quite difficult to get past the avatar thing that pops up, but yeah, I'm absolutely thrilled I completed it. I felt the ending was a bit flat. It was just kind of like they were just like, yeah, we've defeated the avatar. Yeah. I feel like they've left it open for future games and so forth, but I was very happy. Now I've got to figure out what I'm doing next. So I'm kind of like, I put a little poll out to try and get advice, but I feel like it's kind of gone the way I kind of thought it would anyway. I keep saying that when I'm streaming, I'm going to stream Pokemon games. So I thought, there's a game called Temtem that's basically an MMO version of Pokemon, but it's like not Pokemon, it's Temtem. And I was like, maybe people will want to watch that. So I put that as one of my options. I put Spore, because someone recommended it, and I thought Ollie used to be obsessed with it, I know how to play it. I put XCOM 2 War of the Chosen, because I didn't realise I should have probably just played this in the first place. This is apparently the absolute best way to play XCOM. It's like XCOM 2 with a load of extra story added in. It lengthens the story, adds in more villains, more baddies, more factions, more this, more that, and just generally makes it a massive game. Or just while I was researching, I come across Portal Reloaded, and I've put a vote out, and at the moment, I was a bit surprised. XCOM 2 War of the Chosen is currently winning, and I was like, I'm not sure I should really go straight into a game that's half the game I've literally just completed and half a new game. But have any of you played Portal Reloaded?
No,
Can't
I know
say
what
I
it is
have.
though.
Yeah, because I would have thought
Heard of
Kev
it.
would have been all over this, especially.
No.
It's, and it's like a mod add-on to Portal 2.
Free.
Sorry?
It's free as well.
It's free, yeah. It's an add-on to Portal 2, and it basically adds a third portal type to the gun. And so you've got your blue portal, your orange portal to bridge a wormhole, but you've also got a third one that sends you through time. And the puzzles are then 4-dimensional. And so I was thinking, I'll play Portal Reloaded for like a stream. I don't know how long the 25 missions will take. Me, it could be bloody weeks. And then after I've kind of given it a bit of a gap, play XCOM War of the Chosen, because I'm bloody loving XCOM. It's such a cool story. It's such a great series. If anyone's never played it and been tempted, get on it. It's fantastic. I thought Temtem would get some love, but the poll's been going for a day and a bit, and Temtem has got 0 votes. Not one person is interested in that, which is a relief, because I wasn't 100% sure I fancied it, and it costs like 35 quid, which isn't much, I know, but I didn't want to pay that for a game that I wasn't sure I'd even want to play, so I'm ruling that out. But yeah, Portal Reloaded sounds quite fun, so I'm thinking I might play that next. I was hoping, part of me was worried you'd go, we talked about it 2 weeks ago, Sheepdog, because it only came out in April, but none of you have played it yet, so that's interesting. But yeah, so I think I'm going to play that, and it does sound cool, and more Portal's always good, but I'm jumping into XCOM 2 War of the Chosen when I can from that, after that, because more XCOM. That's what I just want to eat more of it. If they could announce an XCOM 3 this year, that'd be lovely. Like, not to come out this year, but if they announce that they're bringing it out in the future, that'd be glorious. The moment that comes out, I'm installing it on my new computer and going nuts on it. But yeah, that's mainly what I've been playing. I have obviously played Pokemon Snap. Have you not been tempted by that yet, Kev?
No.
Nah, it's just taking pictures, isn't it?
It's very good though, and I know Pab's been playing it. Did I talk about the volcano last week? I think I did. I couldn't
Yeah,
do.
you did, yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm not that much further. I've been replaying the levels I've got, but I just like it. It's nice. I mean, if you want to be calming the old heart down, Kev, you might want to get a game like this. It's just, you're a photographer as well. You do lots of shooting with your cameras. This is, I mean, maybe a busman's holiday, but you can,
Not interested.
but you got to snap them all. It's fun. You get to throw apples at Pokemon as well. Like, there'll just be a Pokemon asleep and you can just lob an apple at its head.
Well, that
Pav,
does
did I
appeal.
tell you? I think it was a Graveler hanging off a cliff, and I threw an apple at it thinking it would just react, and it fell off the cliff into lava. I think I killed a Graveler. I felt so guilty. I was like, this game's dark. I'm choosing to believe that when I got down to the bottom of the level, there was a Graveler asleep on the side. I'm just choosing to believe that he somehow didn't drop directly down into the lava that I could see, and he just somehow appeared asleep there. I've not checked, actually. I redid it, but he wasn't there the next time, so I don't know. He's probably dead now. But yeah, the game does have these odd moments. I think there's lots of pictures of dark things in it, and I mean, there's one where I can't remember what it was now. One of the evolutions is standing there, just on all fours, and this other Pokemon's just standing right behind it, looking right down its bumhole, and it's just like, oh, they didn't think this through. They should have been putting some kind of mechanic in to stop pictures. I mean, no, they shouldn't be blocking that. It's just funny, but they've definitely been getting shared from people all over the internet because they're just finding all these lewd pictures. But yeah, it's a great little game. It's got so much charm, and I'm loving it. It's very good. I think that is everything I've been playing, other than obviously Pokemon Go, Simpsons Tapped Out, and all the usual Sheepdog stuff.
Pabby.
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
So I have also played some Pokemon Snap. Everything escalated incredibly fast today when I played on stream. It was like I had 2 places. I think I had like the starting level and then like the jungle level, I think it was. And I've had only those 2 levels, like a day and night map and the the mega one or whatever it is level that you have there, and I unlocked another one today, which was like no, I unlocked two. Did I unlock two? I unlocked the
It does
desert.
suddenly start unlocking
Yeah, it
multiple
was really
at once.
fast.
Yeah,
I unlocked the desert one.
beach.
Yeah,
then
desert and beach it
volcanoes.
was, yeah. And then I unlocked another one, which was then Coral Reef or something like that, which was underwater one. And
I don't think I've done that one yet.
They're really cool. There's some very cool things in them, and it's just escalated so fast. Like I've gone from like playing the game and playing the same 2 levels over and over again to like having 3 new levels dropped on me like pretty much immediately. It's been nice. It's been nice just kind of like learning the levels, because every time you level up that level, per se, that map, the interactions change, and I like the fact that there's now like a branching paths on certain maps.
Yeah, that's very cool as well. Definitely.
Yeah, that surprised me, because it was like, oh, something's in front, and then you scan it, and suddenly I turn left instead of going right. I was like, oh, yeah, I wasn't expecting that. That was a nice surprise. That was. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying what it is and seeing where it goes, sort of thing. Like what I like figuring out the requests that turn up, and just like how do we need. I like having the challenge of like how do we get this Pokemon to do this? What they want from me. It's a nice challenge
Cash
system.
money.
It's a nice way to add a challenge to the game instead of just snapping whatever you want and just getting what you need and just getting out. It's
I think this is it. A lot of people think, like Kev did, oh, it's just taking pictures of Pokemon, but they obviously aren't stupid to think that people would genuinely go through however many levels doing just that. So it starts like that for level 1, and then it becomes a bit more like get them to do certain things, get them to act a certain way. That one I mentioned, so you won't have got to it yet, but there is one where you can only take a picture of I think it's called Vulcan. I can't remember the bloody name of it now. It's a firebug Pokemon.
Right.
It's the only one on the level, but you can only take a picture of it when it's not on fire. Any pictures you take of it on fire are just useless, and so you have to. I mean, I say figure out. You have to get it with the apples, but it's quite hard to hit it with an apple, and it's just adding stuff like that into it. It's sort of saying like it's almost like a boss level. You know, you've got to whittle it down a bit before you can get a good picture, and so it's adding these elements to it. Figuring out what route to take to get the best pictures of Pokemon as well is useful. I mean, I really wish the professor would invent the break. I really just want to be able to say, right, I'm going to stop here for a minute and just enjoy what's going on. Yeah. I feel like I don't think that's going to come later. I was hoping it would, because there'd be some opportunities to get some really fun scenes if you could just stop for 30 seconds, and just see it all play out the way it should. That would have been a sensible thing to throw in later.
Yeah.
But, it doesn't seem like you can.
I don't think that's the point of it, though, is it? It's not. It doesn't want you to do that. It wants you to keep loop. You know what I mean? If you miss your opportunity, you've got to loop again. It's like kind of not pad the game out, but it gives it. You've got more to do with it, haven't you? If you've got to keep looping the same thing instead of just pausing and taking your time and like saying, okay, I'm going to wait for this thing to happen, and I'm going to have my shot then, and then I'm done. I don't need to go. I
just thought as well, though, like if you had a bit where nothing was normally happening, and they. If you happen to stop there for 30 seconds, something would appear, would be quite a good feature. That's what I kind of meant, I guess.
Yeah.
Not just being able to look at the Pikachu that's there for longer than you get. I'd want something to be
you want to
achieved.
set up sort of like traps sort of thing to lure Pokemon in and to do something, or
Yeah, like when you leave a nature cam out and suddenly a fox is playing with it. It'd be interesting, wouldn't it, just to have that option? I like the home level, like the one that's the lab, and you can just see the sleeping Meowth and the little bird Pokemon that's floating around and stuff like that. I guess that will evolve as you level it up. There'll be more stuff there, but I remember it saying something like there's something sleeping under the deck, and I keep throwing apples under there. Whatever's under there's not waking up, but I guess eventually I'll level it up and it will.
I hope so.
The guy who did Cerebi.net, which is like the number one sort of Pokemon resource for information, reckons there's like thousands of different things you can see in it. He's trying to document them all for the site, but he said even though he's gone through it a ridiculous amount of times because it's basically his job, he's still finding new stuff all the time. And I think someone had reviewed it saying there wasn't that much to see, and he was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, I've been through it so many times, and it keeps throwing out new things." And you know, he's been playing it non-stop. I was just trying to see if I could find what he said, but in April he was saying there's over 200 Pokemon in the game. I don't know whether that's been confirmed as a full number yet or what those are. I haven't even checked like the decks to see whether I've got, you know, half of them, quarter of them, whatever. It feels like I've not seen that much variation, but I did see a picture someone posted online, a scene that I've taken a picture of before that was maybe 2 Pokemon asleep. In their picture, it was like 5 different Pokemon all together in a little sort of group. And I was like, oh, okay. That's interesting, you know. So I think as you go through, more appear, more. It's like there was a Pikachu and a Grookey having a kip next to a Torterra. And apparently,
I've got that one. Yeah,
become like 6 Pokemon together having a kip later on.
Wow,
which I thought was quite sweet. And I guess it might just keep building up. But yeah, it's good. I'm enjoying it.
I'd agree. I would tend to agree. Another game which I have flip-flopped on over the couple previous weeks. I forced myself to play Returnal again this week.
Why?
You know what, Anna? I got to a point in that game where it kind of clicked for me.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's just because I got a good run. You know what I mean? I got a good level, you know, set of levels where I was finding a lot of health, and a lot of health upgrades, and good weapons, and I felt very confident in it. And I was having a good run on stream, so good that I got to the point where I was like, I ended the stream and I didn't even get to the boss. I was like, this is the boss run. This is it. No, this is the one. We are well positioned for this. We have upgrade. We have we have items to use to get your health back. We have everything we need for this. I was like, okay, did all this. It felt good. It felt good. And then, so I went to the shop, purchased the goods that I needed to go into this boss room, and then realised I was 2 rooms away from it. Oh. Those were the 2 hardest rooms I've come across in that run, and I went into the boss fight with like, so you have like your health bar, and I had like pretty much 2 health bars worth of health. I went into that with about 3/4 of my first bar of health. That's all I had left after doing 2 rooms to get to where I needed to be.
Jeez.
I thought I was pretty much just going into the boss room, and that was 2 rooms away.
Ugh.
I did all right. I didn't beat it.
Right.
I did not beat it, but I got it down to the like halfway, you know, like half of its last bar, and I was like, it's
infuriating.
Yeah. I feel much better about the run than I did in the previous runs, where I didn't even get to the boss. It suddenly like clicked for me, like as in what the game requires of me, what it wants me to do. It wants me to. Someone in my chat said, like, you know, it doesn't always pay off to be very defensive. It pays off to be aggressive at times, and to just go at enemies and just attack them with your sword instead, and like, you know, get a shotgun and just get in close range and just blast them away and deal with. And if you know what I mean, shoot them and then sword, and then it's because I've just been holding off from distance, just keeping my distance from everything. So I changed it up a little bit, and it was okay. I didn't hate it. I kept saying to myself, saying on stream, I really want. It's a game that I really want to like, but I just can't. It just isn't getting me. Yeah. And that one run did get me. It did get me, and I had like 3 or 4 runs in on the stream. One of them did get me like riled up. I was annoyed. One of them did. I was like, you know, it's just like one of them cheap rooms where there's like 50 enemies in it. You're like, oh well, that's done.
Yeah.
Done. You're like, oh, horrible. But it's interesting. It is interesting to see that and to see
I
what
find
we
it
can do with it.
infuriating. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I can see that. I definitely can see that. But like I say, I don't know what it was. I genuinely don't know what it is. With this one particular run where I found myself, like I say, just constantly finding the health upgrades. And I was like, it's weird. I find health upgrades and integrity upgrades, and it felt like as if the game had felt sorry for me after I had a few runs, and it just started giving me stuff. It felt really strange, and I mean, I wasn't complaining. Let's be honest with you, I wasn't complaining because it was.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, it was good, and I was like, I don't know whether this has always been like this, and I've just not noticed, or whether it is just literally just a good run, and you're gonna have good ones, and you're gonna have bad runs. I don't know. But yeah,
they're procedurally generated, aren't they? So they.
Yeah, it's all random.
Yeah.
Only certain rooms are the same. So like, yeah, certain rooms is like that are laid out the same. So like the room with the house, the level with the house. That's all the same. The level with like the kind of like the throne room kind of thing with like a chest in the middle and the stairs that go around the outside.
Yeah,
they're all the same. They just I think they're just positioned differently on the map. I mean, it could be any of the side rooms on the map, sort of thing. So, but yeah, it's.
Well, I've deleted it.
I'm not as.
So
did you?
It's not on my. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you go.
Yeah.
You kind of go to make room for stuff. It's
True.
crazy.
Especially when 3 games is 100 gig, like, you know.
Yes.
Everything needs a bit of space. So yeah, it's deleted off mine. I've still got it. I'll probably go back to it if they added like a easy mode. Because I was enjoying it. It's just I can't bother. I hate doing things over and over and over.
They're actively looking at not save states, but like being able to save your game at certain points instead of having to just because people are losing the games because the PlayStation's turning off and whatever.
Yeah.
So
that is
because you can stop you can put your PlayStation into rest mode, but then PlayStation has a funny and it just goes no, and you lose your run. It's just that is yeah, we'll leave that game alone for a while if that happened to me.
Yeah, it's like I don't mind doing things over and over again. It's just it got to a point where I was doing everything I was supposed to, but I just that boss is just mean, really mean.
Yeah. It's like you don't. It's fine doing stuff over and over again, but it's not feeling like you're getting better with it. Mm-hmm. As in, like you're not gaining.
Your weapons are still at 1 or 0, and it's just like, well, what's the point? Why am I using this weapon to try and get it up, and it's just going back to 0? I hate that.
And I don't know whether things change like once you beat that boss, and it's kind of like a checkpoint sort of thing. I don't know. I've not seen anything else on it, so I don't know. But I just hope that I get one good run in where it feels good enough for me to. I feel like it's just getting to the boss. To be fair, getting to the boss is hard enough.
Yeah.
Like you've got to get to the actual boss room, and you've got to then. I just want to learn how he what his style is, sort of thing, and.
Well, he certainly has a pattern.
Yeah. I mean the swipe that he has is brutal. The swipe just takes so much of your health off you immediately. Like, that was me. I wasn't expecting that.
If you miss the jump and stuff, then yeah, you've had it. Yeah. And it's just like.
Yep. We'll get there.
Yeah.
I want to just at least beat that one boss, even if I don't. I probably won't ever finish this
game. People have finished it, haven't they? I don't know how they're doing it.
No, I don't know. Yeah, no clue. So I have one other game that I have played. And it's a game which has fascinated me, and I was just morbidly curious. A game called Balan Wonderworld.
Okay.
Yes. This is a game from the makers, from the creator of Sonic the Hedgehog, from the creator of Phantasy Star, from the creator of Knights, from all your classic Sonic games and all your Sega games. This guy made, and he's brought a new game out this year. And my word, is that a bizarre, strange, weird ass game that is bad.
Bad or mad?
Bad. So bad. But I'm so curious about it. It is like a car crash. I can't help but I want to see what this game is about, and it's weird. It's just like, okay, so it's a 3D platformer, akin to something like, say, maybe like a 3D Sonic game. You're a little like 3D animated character, and you get suits, and the suits give you like a power to do certain things in the world. So you get like a suit that lets you kind of spin, like do like a kind of like a Tasmanian devil spin, and it destroys blocks. Or you get like one that like turns you into like a springy character, and you can spring up like tall blocks, so you can climb over things. Or you get one that lets you swim through like water blocks, and all these different things. Okay, so the control. It's weird. It's a bizarre game where all the face buttons and the triggers all do the same thing. It's a one button game. You literally control everything with move your character around with the analog stick, and every other button on the controller just does the action button of whatever it is. If you haven't got a suit on, it's just a jump button. If you've got a suit on, it does whatever action corresponds with that suit. It's very simplistic. It's very stylistic. It's like kind of like cutesy, kind of chibi, kind of like chibi anime kind of like thing, but it's not. It's 3D graphics or whatever. It's not cell shaded or anything like that. But it's bizarre. It is absolutely bizarre. I don't quite know what's going on with the story. I don't even know. I honestly couldn't even begin to show you that there's a guy called Ballen, and you're going to his Wonderworld, and he is like a character with a top hat for a face.
Of course he does.
Yeah, and every time you finish a level, there's like a musical number where everyone just kind of breaks into like dance and starts dancing along to a song. And it's just fascinating. It's weird. It's such a throwback to a game akin to like the Dreamcast era. It is so strange, so strange, and yet I can't help but kind of want to play it. I can't help but just want to play it. It's relatively simple, not overly difficult. You have to collect like these little trophies, and each time you get a trophy, you get a certain number of them. You get to unlock the next world if you have a certain number of trophies. So let's say it's 25. There's like 8 trophies in each world, each level, and then once you get a certain amount, the next world will open for you. And so if you don't, if you finish the level off and you haven't got all the trophies, you've got to run that level again and go do other things to find that other trophy. But it's pretty much just like in the environment. You don't have to do anything particularly clever. It's just in the environment you have to find these trophies. But yeah, it's a weird, strange oddity that I can't help but want to play, just to kind of experience it. It's like I say, it's a weird throwback that you shouldn't really play unless you're, like I say, morbidly curious about it. Don't go in there expecting a game that you're going to be happy with.
What a review! Love it.
But if you liked like Nights into Dreams and like Sonic Adventure and stuff like that, then maybe at least give it a look.
What was the first game you said? Because I like Sonic Adventure, so...
Nights into Dreams, and Billy Hatcher. Remember Billy Hatcher? All those years ago. It's like that. It's like that. There's also these things things that are called, like, Tims. I think they're called Tims, and they're, like, basically, like... Remember, like, you used to have, like, a Chow Garden in, was it Sonic Adventure?
Yeah.
And you used to have a little... Yeah. They're basically like
what
that.
They're called KOs.
Is it KO or I would call them Chows?
Chaos or something. It's something to do with chaos, wasn't it?
Yeah. I don't know. You had like a little chow garden, was it? On your little BMU type thing, didn't you? Whatever. Anyway. But they're kind of like that, where you go back to like the hub world and you are accumulating these little they're kind of like little like bunny rabbit kind of like duck creature kind of things. Are weird. There's like little balls of fur kind of thing that just kind of bounce around, and they want feeding, and you feed them the gems that you've collected in the world, and then the more you feed them, the more they kind of like duplicate, and then you get a certain number of them. Then there's like a big construction thing that's happening in the middle of the map. It's weird. It is a weird game. I cannot explain what this thing's going on, but there's a number going up in the middle, like there's a big ticker in the middle of the screen, like in the middle of the map, and it's going up. Every time I do certain things, I get more and more of these little Tims. Yeah, it's a weird game. It doesn't play overly well. It's nothing special whatsoever, but it is just weird, bonkers, crazy, and if that's your thing, then
fill your boots.
Give it a look.
I googled it.
Least.
They are called Chows, not KOs. I've been reading it wrong, living a lie for years.
There you go. But yeah, that is everything.
Well, in that case, boys and girls, we will wrap things up. And, oh, goodness me, it's nearly bedtime. Oof. Oh, my word. So, internet, there's lots of places you can follow us on the internet. Firstly, you can follow the podcast at MGUK Podcast on Twitter. Nothing ever happens there, though, so you should follow us in other places. Specifically, you should follow me everywhere, apart from TikTok, at Lalujo. I'm Mr. Kevin Chapman on TikTok. This week, Dave went viral.
He did.
I'm Sheepdog 6K everywhere.
I'm at Miss Lalujo on various platforms.
Including Twitch now, Anna.
I don't know what it is.
It's Miss Lalujo.
There we go. That's what it is. Is it?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Okay. There we go. I don't know because I haven't done. Yeah, I'm not on there. Find me, please.
And I'm at Pav1986 on Twitter and Twitch.
Excellent. And on that note, we will see you next week, boys and girls.
Have a good week.
Bye bye.
Thanks for listening, folks.